to be going over a couple of trades. We're going to talk and discuss how to day trade the market open when we are in real tight ranges right up against resistance. So I know that that may sound really specific, but that's as specific as it needs to be when it comes to day trading. We're also I'm going to point out a couple of trades that I wanted members to wait for as they triggered absolute phenomenally. So let's get into these charts and let's start discussing. One quick sec. Sorry, guys. Oh, come on here. There we go. Okay. So what we have here today is Qs opened up right here. And then it popped into trend. This is a little sneaky trend that I pointed out. For those of you that didn't watch last night's recap and lesson, I really highly suggest that you go and do so because it is really important. But it ended up triggering and opening up right into that area again. SPY top ticked yesterday's highs pre-market. So there's a lot of resistance up in that area, and we're opening up right into that resistance. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. One sec, folks. Okay, so if you take a look, we open up, it pops up into that level and rejects. So that's kind of the first trade. Now, I know that I'm not going to be able to take a lot of size. There's not a lot of distance into that area. So it's a very small trade. So locked in, quick little gain on that. No big deal. Then I'm still in with a little bit, right? I still have a few contracts on and it squeezes up. Now, I know that we're really protected in this, and the way that it's trading and playing, the initial trade plan on this was for it to open up, push through that level, and then fail the level, get back in on a retest, which is what it did later on. And then it finally sold off. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not worried that it wants to come up a little bit higher. I don't have a lot of size in this. So with that said, I add into that push. You can see a beautiful entry there. And then once it comes back down, there's a potential for it to hold. I pay myself. That is that exit right there. Then I'm just continuing to play with that chart. All right. I'm continuing to play with the chart until I see exactly what I want to see. And that's what happened in this area. So you're going to start to see some entries, right? So these entries, this first one here, right where my cursor is, I'm starting to get size in, okay? Not a lot, not applying like 100% pressure, but I'm starting to apply that pressure. And I've discussed this in my videos before. And then that next entry, okay, it's starting to confirm. That's what I want to see. Now I'm starting to hit it, right? And then it pulls back a little and I pay myself. I'm always paying myself, guys. I get my size in and I get it right out. I'm never holding maximum size at all times. That's dangerous. You're going to get blown up. It's not a good idea. And it is a really piss poor way of trading. Now that last entry that I have there, right there, once I see, like I said earlier, once I see exactly what I want, I fucking hammer size, hammer it. I get in as much size as I possibly can. And then as soon as it starts to wash out, I am getting that size out. I am paying myself. Now, this ended up being about a 200% trade from best entry all the way up to highs or lows, however you want to look at it. But locking in $24,355 on that. Now, I also traded SPY a couple of times. So let's go over SPY. So locked in $1,670 on this. Now, originally there was a level that, because it sold off, I'll zoom in one sec. So because it sold off quite a ways and Qs was starting to sell off quite a bit at that time, I wanted to get in, start in my trade at yesterday's open. Why, you might ask? That's kind of a weird level. That is the first level of resistance. I know it's support, but it's a way of looking at it. It's still resistance. It's a place that it can bounce. So that's why I call it resistance sometimes. I know that sounds goofy, but follow along. It's the first area that it could potentially bounce. So I'm going to start in. So that's what I did. My first initial entry is there, and I pay myself. And then as it is coming into that previous close area, I enter into the previous close. Not much of a bounce there. It did actually retrace into that 9 EMA on the intraday. Could have taken some off, no big deal, but I didn't. I'm like, okay, I know there's a bigger play here. And the reason for that is the distance, or the relationship between distance and retracement. And I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. This is a free video. You guys get more than enough free info out of me. So with that said, I'm just patient. I wait for it to come down into the level I wanted it to come down into. I enter and I pay myself and I lock in. We're starting to get into that 10:45 area in the morning, and I got to go out to my farm by then. I don't want to continue on these trades. And I could have continued to work them. Absolutely beautiful. Qs came down into test that level as well, and it ripped from there. That's the level that I wanted my members to wait for. Not only is it the previous close, but it is also a main trend. And then SPY down here at that level. High of day, low of day. It's something that I've discussed for years. It's not just high of day, and it's not just low of day. These are, especially when it comes straight down into those levels, that's money, guys. That is as easy as day trading is. It's as easy as it gets. This shit doesn't need to be difficult. So when it comes to this sort of stuff, folks, the one thing that I will ask out of you all that are watching these videos is make sure to like, share these around, get the word out. That's all I'm asking for this level of free education and content. And if you want more and better, because remember, this is just the free shit, come to tricktrades.com and we will set you up. Even if you are a bare bones beginner, we got you covered. So on that note, folks, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a recap tomorrow. It is Friday and I'm working with my live trading members, and we're working on something very, very specific tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to have a recap for you. We'll see. And besides, it's Friday and we got friends coming over for dinner. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend if I don't speak to you, and adios.